Want to know what metric I recommend you add to your dashboard this year? Well, if your business model is based on recurring customer revenue, this video is for you. My name is Susan and I share financial tips with founders and CEOs, especially around scaling your business. In today's video, I'm talking net revenue retention, or NRR, not MRR, which is monthly recurring revenue, NRR. For SaaS companies, NRR is one of the most important indicators of the financial health of your company. But this key performance indicator is not just for software companies, not necessarily just for SaaS. It's for any subscription-based business. So in other words, if your pricing model is really built around creating long-term customer relationships that produce ongoing and growing recurring revenue streams, then this metric is also for you. Okay, so what's the big deal? Well, NRR measures how successful a company is at not only renewing or sustaining their contracts and relationships, but also how well you're doing at generating additional revenue from these customers. So let's think about this a little bit. Acquiring customers is often the primary goal of a growth-focused company for obvious reasons. More customers, bigger company, but to really thrive financially in business, there are three equally important customer stages that need their fair share of attention: acquire, retain, expand. So NRR really measures success with the latter two. Retaining and expanding revenues from existing customers is arguably the primary basis when it comes to valuing your business. You all hear about these large multiples being paid to subscription-based companies, SaaS companies getting big multiples. Well, it's because of the power of NRR. The more you can demonstrate that customers stay and grow with you, the greater the multiple. So how is NRR calculated? Well, let me break that down for you. It's essentially summing up your past MRR with the expansion revenue, taking away any downgrades, any churns, and then you divide that by your starting MRR. If you're healthy, this number is going to be greater than 100%. And that essentially demonstrates that your business revenue will grow even if you don't add any new customers. So when you're forecasting future revenues from existing clients, you can actually somewhat rely on this metric to substantiate your financial forecast. By measuring it monthly, comparing to the previous year, you will also be able to see if it's trending up or down. Trending up obviously is good. Trending down, well, it could be a warning sign that you're going to have some cash flow issues down the road. Now, overall, I think the best way for most startups and early stage companies to actually measure this is to do it monthly, comparing year-over-year values in cohorts. And by that I'm talking about looking at your customer MRR from a year ago, comparing it to the current MRR from those customers only. Any new logos added throughout the year, they're excluded from this. So calculating this is a little tricky if you're not tracking your MRR by customer, which, by the way, you really should be doing. And if you need any help with that, you can call Number Crunch. Wink, wink. So to wrap up with NRR, add it to the dashboard, measure it monthly, focus on it, improve, ask your exec team to brainstorm how you can actually grow it. I have a couple minutes here. Since I still have a moment, I'm going to throw in a bonus metric for you here, and I'll call it the twin sister to NRR. It's GRR, gross revenue retention. It looks and sounds almost identical, but it's different. So gross revenue retention is different in that it does not factor in the upsells and upgrades and expansions into the account. In other words, there's no customer upside factored into this metric, which means that the most it can ever get to be is 100%. So 100% means you've retained all the customer revenue that you had in the starting period. So if you experienced any customer churn or downgrades, your percentage is going to be less than 100%. In this metric, you're going to try to get it as high as possible, but keeping in mind it will max out at 100%. So sort of like parenting twins, you don't expect the same outcome from both of these. They are different by design. GRR measures how much churn is actually impacting your business. At best, this dynamic duo can really represent. So if you're pitching that your business is land and expand, it's NRR that's going to prove that. But if you're confident that your business has churn under control, then GRR is going to demonstrate that. Together, they pack a powerful punch. Okay, that's it for today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. And if you think this video is helpful, it would be really great if you would share it so that other founders could see it too.